Yes, let's bring in Neal Katyal, former acting Solicitor General, and Anthony Coley, former director of the Justice Department's Office of Public Affairs and senior advisor to Attorney General Merrick Garland. Anthony, I have a question for you about Justice Department protocol. Merrick Garland appointed the special counsel. He appointed Jack Smith, and Jack Smith, by all accounts so far, had free reign over, by the statute, over this investigation. Yeah. Merrick Garland could only get involved if he thought it was wildly inappropriate. Right. Republicans are attacking the Justice Department, saying this is Merrick Garland's decision. They're attacking President Biden, saying this is President Biden's special counsel. I'm sure there are discussions in DOJ about how best to handle this, how not to light the fire any brighter than it already is. Yeah. Is there a good way to navigate the attacks from the Republicans and also standing up for the Justice Department to say that this is the protocol and this is the way it's done?
Katie, the Attorney General once told me that it's not enough to do justice. We have to appear to do justice. And that at its core is what this appointment of Special Counsel Smith was all about, doing the right thing and then looking like you're doing the right thing. And that's the process that he set in place last November. He took himself out of day-to-day oversight of this investigation, and he put it in the hands of a career prosecutor, someone who was not a part of the political appointee workforce. So to your point, the process matters, the people matter, and sunshine, transparency matters at this moment in American history. I agree with what Andrew and others have said. We absolutely, at the very least, the court should have audio recordings made live, available immediately, just like the Supreme Court does right now. If you go to their website.
Do you think DOJ will petition for that?
So I don't think DOJ will petition. But what my hope is that when media outlets demand it, they don't oppose it. And Andrew, I see you nodding. I think you spent more time at DOJ than I have. But that's my hope, that when media outlets petition the court for that DOJ permits it.
I can say that same thing happened in Enron when I was the head of the Enron task force, and we weren't allowed to make the motion, but we did get permission when the media made the motion that we would say we were not opposing it.
And who approved it? Was it approved by the federal judge, the presiding judge?
Yes. Yes.
So why does the chief of the Supreme Court get into it, the Chief Justice?
Because the relief that was sought there, the district judge had simply closed the courtroom to the public. Like the public wasn't even allowed, which we thought violated the Constitution. And so the media opposed that, and we said that should not be allowed.
Neal Katyal, if these arguments are made, would part of the argument be what is going on in the country? And by what's going on in the country, I'm just looking at some new things that were handed to me from Republican members of Congress saying that, we have now reached a war phase and the DOJ FBI doesn't expect to imprison Trump. They expect to imprison you.
Wow.
Yeah, so you've got all that.
I'm getting a visceral reaction here from Anthony.
But I defer to Neal. Let me just say very quickly, these types of attacks, they're just not tethered in the facts at all. And not just the facts here are so strong, the sources of the facts are so strong. We're talking about people who were in Donald Trump's employment. We're talking about his own employees texting with each other. We're talking about footage from surveillance video from Mar-a-Lago. So I'm not surprised to hear these types of attacks, which started weaponization, election interference. These attacks started before the indictment was even unsealed.
So does that become part of the argument, Neal, for why the American people need to see exactly what really is going on and judge for themselves?
That's exactly right. So there are three kinds of constellations of facts here which are colliding. One is that the evidence against Trump looks really strong, and as Anthony says, is occurring from Trump's own mouth. Two, you've got Republicans who are making up all sorts of cockamamie excuses for this and trying to burn the system down and attack the Justice Department. And three, you have some people also making those criticisms of the judge, Eileen Cannon. All of those things together make it, to me, imperative that the Chief Justice allow not just audio, but cameras in the courtroom. And I have a fair amount of experience with this. I was special prosecutor in the George Floyd murder, and yes, it was a state prosecution, but the state law there said no cameras in the courtroom, and there had been no criminal trials that were televised in the state of Minnesota. But the judge authorized an exception because of the importance, the public interest at stake, all of the different narratives that were swirling around in the public and conspiracy theories and the like. And sure, there was potential for violence and mayhem, but that judge presided over it carefully, and the American people got to see every day of that trial and see it for themselves. I don't think that we could have anything less here. And, Andrew's right. The Supreme Court has authorized audio streaming now. So every time I argue a case there, it's live transmitted on audio for the public to see. That's something, but not like the visuals. We live today in a visual society, an Instagram age. People want to see the video. It's the only way for them, I think, to fully process what happened. So audio is a nice half step, but I don't think it's nearly enough. Right now, we've got none of this. I mean, it is kind of boggling to me. This is the American people's courtroom in Miami right now, and we aren't in it. We can't see what's going on. We can't listen to what's going on. Maybe afterwards we'll get, what the reporter's reaction was sitting in the courtroom, but that's a skim milk version of what the American people deserve.